God had to tell me, you need to cut him off for a season, because you giving him comfort, you've been rescuing him, and he has not felt the the consequences of his actions for years, for a very long time. And we are enabling. Sometimes when we try to help, sometimes when we try to rescue, sometimes when we try to bring comfort, because we just want them to heal, we just want them to feel better, because we can see that they're in pain, we can see that they're suffering. So we want to lessen the pain that they're going through, but sometimes you are enabling them. Sometimes you are standing in the way of God bringing them to the end of themselves. And when you do that, they do not wake up. If you notice in verse 17, but when he came to himself, he came to himself because of the suffering that he was going through. He was in such a horrible place that that was probably the only way for him to see his situation, and to see how desperate he was, and to see how desperately he needed God, his father, and his actual earthly father. He came to himself. And the problem is, we keep interfering with what God is trying to do in these people's life, in our family members' life, in your son and your daughter's life. Now, I'm not saying, like, my son is, he's not like a child. He's an adult. He's a young adult, but yet he is an adult. So, like, I'm not telling anybody what to do and how to handle the situation, because every person is different, and every person needs to be handled in a different way. For me, I he God confirmed to me 2 3 times that I needed to cut my son off for a season. I needed to have him to move out from my home for a season so that he could deal with him. And like, other family members around me, they look at me as being harsh, but this was hard for me to do, because me and my son are very close. Like, we've always been like very close, like best friends almost. So even though on the outside it looks like I'm being harsh, it looks like I'm being firm, but every time I say no, my instinct is to say yes whenever he asks me for money. He's not working, he's just been struggling with trying to find his way in his life. And I just was enabling. And I have to be obedient to God. And somebody would say,